Hey guys, uh, Mark Isaac Potter, Monday, June 23rd, 2025. Doing lots of Monday morning kind of stuff. I was up a lot last night. I did get some sleep. I really did. Uh, just tons of stuff to do this morning. The phones. I have 4 phones. They seem to currently be somewhat discombobulated. I gotta all check them for their charge level and YouTube isn't responding. Close the app. I don't know that I have an app on YouTube right now on this phone. Maybe I put something on there that was too big to. Oh, maybe it's just getting tired. Maybe it's not. Lately, it's been letting me upload just as much stuff as I want. Months ago, it would just let me upload like 1 or 2 things, and then it would say, "That's all you're allowed to upload today." And then at some point, it was just everything I could throw at it in a day, it would upload. So maybe they're setting limits or not, or it's a miscommunication, or who knows what. Anyway, just trying to walk you through what I'm up to right now. I was going to try to catch you up about what went on this morning, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's more likely I'll just tell you what I'm exactly doing right now and go from there. So, on the desktop, I'm trying to figure out where's all the stuff that needs to be posted, right? And so to do that, I went into a folder called EV5678. I think it's called. Can't see. Yeah, well, it's here. It's called 567, and that means it was. I do stuff on my desktop in groups. Like I say, this is going to be everything group 5, and that'll have a certain number of weeks or something that will be the everything file. And then I'll stop that one. I'll go do everything 6, which is EV6, and it'll be from this date to that date. And then I just do that so that my desktop is manageable. La 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 la. So today I'm trying to find the stuff that's all postable, all the MP4s, and I seem to have to rearrange everything now and then to find stuff that I already put in some previously comprehensible order. And so right now I've got a little dialog box up here telling me the total size of a folder called EV567, which has in it, of course, those 3. And it says it's 486 gigs, right? And I'm going to write here because lately I've been needing to write things down on paper in addition to talking about them, in addition to whatever other things I'm trying to think of. So says 468. So given that number, I'm going around the room trying to find a hard drive that would accommodate that. And of course, I just recently, quote unquote, cleaned my room as per my housemate / landlord's request. I rent a room from her. And so now everything's in a different place than it used to be. A lot of stuff got thrown out. But in the meantime, of everything being thrown out, everything got rearranged, so wherever I used to put the hard drives is not where they are now. Can't find that hard drive. I've got 2 or 3 or 4 that are at least 2 terabytes. I don't think those 2 terabyte ones would be all full. I don't think they're all full. I can't afford a big one, 44 terabyte, so I just buy them at 1 or 2 terabyte increments, and I figure someday, if I number them properly numerically, like this EV567, someday I can put them all in one place, which is probably not even a good idea anyway. Well, so now that I'm talking through this with you, I realize that probably I can come up with a better solution, because like I say, I found a drive that's probably 1 or 2 terabytes, but I don't have the cord. And the cords are, somewhere in the universe of this room. But here I've got the 5, 6, 7. It might even be 8 in there. But it's kind of okay, because my real purpose today is to find all the MP4s so I can start uploading the ones I haven't uploaded. So what I could do is just realize that the EV567 is 468 gigs, and then just leave it on the desktop for now, but go inside the 567 to find the MP4s I'm really looking for. Or I was going to try to make a copy of it, and then of the 567, and then divide everything in the new version of the 567 into 2 categories: post or do not post. And I'm still going to do that at some point, but I don't have to find a hard drive and download today. And also, I pay for 2 terabytes of storage on Google, so theoretically I could upload 1 or more of the 567s right into my drive, and it would be there instead. So by virtue of talking to you guys, I came up with at least a temporary solution to my, let's say, problem. So that's kind of nice. I got this 468 gigs, right, with 13,426 files. 13,426 files. That's good. I am going to go see. I think it should have number 8 in it too. Let me go see. I think it should. And I think there should be an 8 that's labeled 8. Let me see. Lots of stuff in here. Oh, I know I made an 8 and it was pretty extensive. I don't know. No, I don't see it. Alright, well, I'm not going to worry about it, because my main concern is just making sure that all the stuff I've created, in the artificial intelligence spaces, on this camera, on Zoom, are all available for me to upload. That's all I'm trying to do. So, alright. So, okay, so let me see what I get here. I'm just going to go through that rather than get rid of this. I'm just going to go through it one piece at a time. Here's audio stuff. Don't need that. Here's Australia with Nick Tessie, but it's 4i, which means it's not the MP4 file, it's all the files together. Zoom shot. What is that? 6125. These are documents, like not MP4s there. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. Alright, so we won't worry about those. So none of those need to be worried about. Here's an app thingy. Okay, don't need that. So I'm going to say, well, I have a not posting here. Hold, no post, and all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files, folders can go into this hold folder. Kind of nice. Okay, then we have Deacon. Okay, those could go to a post. I like him. He's a I'm going to write something called alt copy or somewhere. Yeah, because that way something like this Deacon thing I can put in the post file and I'll make a copy of it. Right. This is what I'm doing now is more labor intensive, but it's okay. We're getting somewhere. I'll say the Deacon stuff. We gotta make a copy, which we're gonna do. Okay. Come on, sweetie pie. Alright, so that goes over here in the post this. And then that will go in the alt copy. Let's say alt copy. This will be post stuff probably. So, and I did put the phrase post this on a lot of folders just to make sure we know they're postable. But it hasn't worked everywhere. Alright, so we have an EXE thing here for some company. And it's a hold. It's not going to be organized the way it would have been, but it's here. It exists. No. That goes there. Full Zim. These are a lot of old Zims, apparently, this next folder. So, good. They're all post stuff. Let's do that. Post this. Okay. And we have, that's good. And we have something called M. Peterson. Show one. Good. So that is all postable. Alright. Okay. And we have something, many poems, show 3. I don't know that I did a, well, okay. A whole bunch of poems that I read. to myself that as MP4s back in the day when I was living in the group home. Here's an MIPR, which is my resume. So that goes there. Here's one called resume, another folder, which that goes in the hold file. Right? Non-poetry for posting. I need to find a job, by the way. I'm taking these steno things. These steno notebooks, which I'm going to order some more in a little while. And I'm doing something that I think is really cool with them, which is, I'm redesigning my room for a person with disabilities, a person with my particular disabilities. So I'm taking each page of the steno that's open. At the bottom, I'm writing one word, very large. Like one says groceries, one says post, etc. And I've got like 4 stenos open. Each half of a page is a category. That's 8 categories. So this one here, for example, is going to say job. So all the stuff I should be doing to find a job. Right? I want to find a 2 to 4 hour a week part-time job in one of my current skill set areas. So I'll get that done eventually. Something came up on the screen that made me remember that. So that would have been probably my resume, which I sometimes put out there and I sometimes don't. So that happens, so that's good. Alright. And then we got non-poetry for posting. See what that means. Just a couple of MP4s, so that'll go over in the MP4s. Okay. Alright, and then we have oldest, best, MIPP. Look, post this, and it says post this. So the fact that I wrote post this on stuff in the past in the file name is helping me now. There's a post this. Okay. This one doesn't say post this, it says still has post stuff. Yeah. Okay. Alright, post this on it. Some of this can also be, it's got too many folders. The folders go too deep. So that's going to have to change because I lost a book about 20 years ago because I gave it too long of a file name. And we'll fix that eventually though. I'll just take stuff out. Oh my God, come on guys. Oh, why is it doing that? Oh, I don't know. It messes up sometimes, and I don't know why. Can't quite figure it out. Huh. Sugarfoot. Nobody knows. 10:06 p.m. I have to go out in the front room at probably 10:25. YouTube Shorts, that could be posted, right? Yeah, post and post. That I think we can just put in here and not worry about it. That's these two are empty, I think. Nope, not empty. Okay. Well, that's weird. Oh, whatever. Okay, I don't know. I don't know anymore. We'll get there, you know. All right. So then we have. Is this empty or not? No, it's not. Oh, what in the hell? Why does that say? That makes no sense. I would have done it that way had I. I know why that's there, boy. QQQ. Yeah, I don't know what all this is. Let's put all the holes over here. Alright. Okay. I still have to go out in the front room here pretty soon. So now this is okay. This is the kind of thing I wish I were doing at night, but oftentimes, for real, oftentimes, especially on a Monday morning, it could be any morning though, when it comes time for me to be doing things that are sales, that are the time of day, Monday through Friday, when you can interact with clients, potential clients, that's when all the stuff that coulda, shoulda, woulda been done over the weekend or at night pops up to be done. It's a weird phenomenon. It really happens a lot. It takes me a long time to get in a groove where I get up in the morning, I'm ready to do sales calls, everything's set up for me to start, and I just start. Feels like it's been since, oh my God, maybe February or March of 2024 since I did it that way. I'm trying to get back there. There's all this stuff, you know, all this going on. It's quite crazy, I don't know. It is a mess. It is a mess. It is a mess. All right, so back to, got about 10 minutes before I have to go out front, which is okay. Even if this takes me all day, it's not like I am working, I'm getting things done. You know, life happens. So you just do what you do, you know. If I get a chance to call people, great. If not, great. You know, we'll see. I got to check all these phones and make sure that some of them are charged and the ones that aren't charged have a place to get charged. I need more charging towers, more cords. I misplaced a bunch of charging cords that were little and very hot cords, but I misplaced them. So don't know how I did that. Not sure. Alright, here's two files that are post related. Put those over here. I think I'm just going to make a master numbering list. Like, start with a number like, I don't know, 999,999, and then just number every MP4 in here from one end to the other. I like to number them from the highest to lowest, you know, so that way the new ones can be lower numbers. That's what I've been doing, so I probably ought to do that. Yeah, I may do that. I may just take everything in here, all the MP4s, and number them from one end to the other. Not joking. I might really do that, because then everything would have its own number that I'm pretty good at this point with remembering numbers, so yeah, not a bad idea. Alright, good. Okay, we got 12 minutes. If I go at 10:25 anyway. There's a warehouse of something. EF, I don't know what. One time I knew when I wrote EF, it stood for something. Boy, what is that? Empty folders. That's what it is. Boy. Wow, okay, that's all. Alright, that goes in the hold area. Okay. To be considered for posting. One file. All by its lonesome. Because we're here. Okay. To Tessie 2 shows. That's something that could be posted, of course. Alright, and then we have Seriously What, which is usually, oh, okay. This time it turns out to be a folder full of MP4s. Who would have known? Here is Sal Dasani, his MP4s. That's beautiful. Here is recent AOD, and I forget what AOD means. Here's all those folders. Here's Rob Rollins. Here's post this miscellany. Good. Here's a post this. So these 4 folders coming up next are all post this type stuff. Good. And then, oh sugar. Sometimes when you drag them over to put them in a file, they don't go where you want them to go, and then you have to put them all in individually. Like I drug 4 or 5 folders over to go in a folder called post, or post this, and instead of going into the folder, they just splatter their way out here into the universe. So we got lots of stuff to post. I mean lots and lots. And that was just EV7 and 8. That was not 5 and 6. So I think I'm going to leave the 5 and 6 where they are. They're in a thing called Total 0001, which is something brand new I made up. And the holds, I think, could go in that total 0001. And now we've got one other folder that says post this, which is full of a nearly infinite number of folders. Within folders, which almost everything are MP4s. And again, what I'm going to do is just put all that stuff in one folder that has numbers like, 700,000 backwards, and then they'll all be in one place, and we'll know where they are, we'll know which ones got processed. So yeah, so I'm going to do that. That'll take years probably, but it'll be, as I go through them, I can tell which ones need to be posted. And when I get new stuff, like my newest Zoom videos, I can post those, separately. So I'm going to go out in the front and work on getting the food coming from Meals on Wheels. I'm going to put this thing here. I'm going to make a new folder that will replace those, that 20 or 30 folders over there eventually. This new folder is going to be called simply post this master list. Okay, that's what we're going to call the new one. And then the old ones, we're just going to put them in here, number them, put them in here, and trash the folders. So I'm going to make a little trash thing here. This could take a week, but hopefully I don't have to. Hopefully I won't do only this. I can maybe make calls or stuff, right? Okay, good. This is kind of, there is, by the way, just so you're reassured, there is a hard drive somewhere that already has EV 5, 6, and 7 copied onto it in the proper way, so it's not like it's totally gone. It's just being reorganized like the rest of the company. All right. So here we go. I'm just going to do them at random because I don't have a better way, frankly. No, there's no order. I mean, what I could do, actually, is I could go up to the major search bar on my desktop and type *.mp4, and it would bring all the MP4s up that exist. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. Alright, so here's my lovely McAfee at 10:20 a.m. So, I've got a book that tracks all the McAfee stuff. There we go. Hasn't done it since 7/29. And but I was offline for a while since then. Alright, we'll do that. I'm gonna go walk out in the front room so my housemate doesn't think I forgot, and close you guys out, obviously.